Hi, this is Graham Martin. I'm the very proud owner of this lovely 1963 Ford Consul Capri 291 EGN, otherwise known as Genie in the Consul Capri and Classic Owners Club circles. This is the car that was owned by Ray Wales, who had some restoration work done by Mike Wareham, and of course previously it was the quite well known club car belonging to Pete Maxwell. So as you can see, she's in Monaco red, with the red roof and white and red vinyl interior, a little bit of rock and roll from the early 60s. And we'll go around the car in a little bit more detail in a minute, but this is just to give you a little bit of an overview. So I've had the car for 3 years and I've really enjoyed owning her. Sadly, due to some problems with my back and associated sciatica in my left leg, I struggle to change gear, which is why I tend to drive automatics. Such a shame, because this is possibly one of the most glorious pieces of automotive art, certainly from the Ford stable and possibly from the late 50s, 1960s, in terms of UK manufacturing automotive production. So what makes her different? Well, firstly, and we'll start from the front, I think, front forward, going backwards. Let's have a little look. We've got chrome wire wheels. Now these are MGB chrome wires. They are not perfect, but they're very nice. And I don't have the time, sadly, to polish them crazily like some people do. As you can see, the brake calipers are painted in red. And for those of you that are thinking, well, she looks a bit low, actually that's the case. She's been dropped by 2 inches by lowering blocks and by proper shortened springs. We do have the original springs. Everything that you want to put it back to original spec is available. So that's reduced the ride height by 2 inches. I think it looks great, but that's personal opinion. And also the track has been widened by 1 inch at either rear, each corner. So if you like, it's a 2-inch wider rear track, and I think that fills out the arches on the rear really well. We'll possibly see better on the side where the sun is shining in. So there you go. Fills out quite nicely. You'll also noticed not one but 2 exhausts. Now this is a Cherry Bomb bespoke exhaust system built for me at significant expense by my friend's father up in Maney in Cambridge, and I tried to get some pictures on the site for those who want to see the exquisite plumbing underneath. For those of you who don't know, this is where the petrol filler lives. Massive boot. You can almost play squash in it. Certainly enough space for 2 and a bit for a weekend away. So what have we got inside? Now the carpets definitely need replacing, and forgive me, I haven't hoovered her out, but you can see what we've got here. We've got the sun in our eyes. A lot of the guys in the club have changed the steering wheels to the colour of the body. This was done by John Richardson, again of the Consul Classic and Capri Owners Club. He restored the wheel and sprayed it in Monaco red beautifully. Thank you, John. We've also got, although the header is off at the moment, a very modern radio just sitting here discreetly, and that's got 4 speakers, 2 in the doors. And before you ask, no, I did not actually cut them out. And there's 2 at the back here, and it's got everything. It's Wi-Fi, iPod connectivity, CD, and DAB radio. I quite like the idea originally of putting the GT clocks in, but as you know, they just don't fit above here, do they? So I had this made up specially for me by Moordale Motors, who did a lot of the recent restoration work for me. There was a lot of welding that was done, particularly under the front suspension, and replacement parts supplied by John Richardson again. So we've got a proper Capri GT with the reverse polarity rev counter, and a new but nonetheless period looking set of Smith's combined water and oil pressure gauge, and yes, they do work, although the rev counter tends to bounce around a little bit. Fly-off handbrake, as you'd probably expect in this car, and I quite like my chrome little steering chrome gear lever. But as you can see, the headlining is all very good. I rather think it's the original headlining. There is a little bit of a mark on the back parcel shelf. There was a nodding dog there when I got it, but I thought perhaps better of it. And as you can see, the back seats are in good condition. and before you ask, the windows do wind up and down properly, and indeed only last year, you can see I had the rubbers replaced properly. So these were club bought items and were put in both front and rear. That really does make a difference. Let's have a quick little look under the bonnet, shall we? Now again, this is not a concourse car, so please don't expect too much. A picture of the door panels, the red and white. So under here, what have we got? Well, it's the standard 1500 pre-crossflow, but we've got the GT head on it, but actually from a Cortina, not from a Capri GT, hence the blocking here. And we've got a proper Capri GT 2836 Weber carburettor, an inlet manifold, and rare as hen's teeth, a real genuine Capri GT outlet exhaust manifold. This is not the one from the Cortina. As you can see, we've had to cut nothing around. This is the real deal. And of course there's only 2,000 of these made, so to have one in my car is quite a rarity. It's got air horns, which make a nice noise. The heater matrix was repaired last year and it all works, so we've got a combination of cold and hot air. And just a little thingy here which I think is useful. It's a cutout switch, which if I undo that, it means there's no power supplied to the car at all, which is great if you're leaving it for a little time. It means, number one, the battery is preserved, and number two, people can't nick it. I have to say the engine does look a little bit oily, and if I was to be keeping the car, I'd probably investigate that and certainly give it a really good clean. There's the compressor hidden there. That's the blue compressor for the air horns. So what I'm going to do now is start her up, and we can have a little listen to the exhaust systems and also under the bonnet. So not too obtrusive, as you can hear. She runs very smoothly, she's serviced on a regular basis, and as you can see down here, we've got the joint for not only the oil pressure warning light, but also the gauge that I was showing you earlier in the dash. If we come around to the rear, you can hear a little burble, which the exhaust, I wouldn't say it sounds like a V8, but it's definitely different to a normal straight 4. Not only is it standard cherry bombs, we've actually had an extra muffler put in the middle so it doesn't drone too much. Have a listen. Sadly I'm on my own, otherwise I could actually have put my foot down and given a little bit of a noise for you. So here we go then. It's the 1963 Ford Consul Capri. Her name is Genie, and for more details and any interest to purchase the car, if you'd like to look on www.63capri.com. That's 63capri.com. So I really hope you enjoyed looking over Genie with me. She's a beautiful car. Oh, I should mention, very important I mentioned, these are glass fibre wings. These are not the original steel wings. We do know that they're available at about £1,000 a pair, but I've been very happy. And in fact, everybody I've spoken to has said that without actually getting up close and tapping them, they look like the real deal. Oh, last point of note is that I've replaced the front headlights for halogens, which includes the side lights, not in the indicator bowls as per normal on the outside, but actually in the inner lights. So that's quite good, and it does mean that when you are on occasion at night going through a windy lane, you can see where you're going. Bullet mirrors, period, early 60s. They're actually in the wrong place, I think. You can't see much out of them, but there were some dreadful 1970s door mirrors there, and I thought these would look much better. And these are the real deal. These are not the ones that you can go and buy online. As you can see, it's got a bit of patina, and it hasn't got that dreadful silicone bead around the edge. The peak mirror, however, does actually give me good rear vision. If I was keeping the car at some stage, I'd probably end up respraying the car completely, and at that point I would do the get rid of these door mirrors themselves. In fact, the early pictures of Pete Maxwell's car do show that they don't have that. Oh, and I must show you this lovely little bit of artwork. Excuse all the stuff in the boot, but I saw this online. Jason at the club showed me this and I thought, wow, that looks good. And the closer I got, the more I realised that actually the Andy Warhol artwork is actually of 291 EGN, the Capri that we're looking at right here. So there we go. Any questions, let me know. Graham Martin. Look on the website 63capri.com, and if you want to hook up with me, then you can email me quite easily, which is GM, which is my initials for Graham Martin, at Orchard Jobs, that's ORCHARD, as in the tree, Orchard Jobs with an S.com. That's all one word. She's often down at the Ace Cafe, and she will be at Great Lees for the Ford Day in September on Sunday the 13th. Let's hope we get some great weather. So there you go. That's Genie.